0. Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Open Tabs podcast. I be your brother Calvin Moss with the third, along with my main man, Joe Carlos. Joe, what's up?
What's up, brother? Man, we out here chilling.
I'm out in these streets. It's the hottest day of the year in Nashville. It's
really?
It was above 100 degrees today.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I just got back from another place where it is routinely above 100 degrees out in Vegas. Got a nice little sunburn. But enjoyed myself. Yeah, there are worse things in life. There are worse things in life. What you been up to, man?
Just working and winding it down. Priming the pump for
it's coming.
School, the return of school, at Morehouse, but also for Joe Carlos Photography. It's about to be busy season.
Yes, it is.
So getting ready for holiday photos.
Hey, if y'all are in Atlanta,
and graduation photos. Yeah.
If you are in Atlanta, and I've already referred one of my best friends from high school.
Yes, the Hayes family.
But look, if y'all in Atlanta and you want top quality, excellent photography with a professional photographer, somebody, and I'm not just talking about professional in terms of like knows all about Canon EOS and all this kind of I'm talking about somebody carries himself well, adapts to change very well.
Thank you.
Joe Carlos is your guy, and I don't need to say more, man. Buy black, I support black.
I appreciate that, brother. I sincerely do. Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
If ever I have need of a photo shoot, I love my man Roland in Nashville, but I'll come down.
Good job, Roland. Oh, thank you. We appreciate it. Yeah. We appreciate it. Shout out to Roland in Nashville as well.
Yeah, Roland's a good guy. But
your skin looks amazing.
I exfoliated. So I use some.
So what are you using?
Noxzema. I use Noxzema. Shout out to what's that woman's name, man? The Noxzema girl. Hey, that's that Noxzema.
Rebecca Gayheart.
Rebecca Gayheart. Yeah. Shout out to Rebecca Gayheart.
That's that. What's up?
And Chris Tucker. Shout out to Chris Tucker.
Yes. Yeah. What's up? That's that Noxzema girl.
And I use a little Biore as well.
Look at you.
If you have the means,
moisturize your situation.
Yeah, and preserve your sexy.
Preserve your sexy. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. Okay.
I'm trying to be like you, man.
We got some Dr. Squatch on today. I shaved my head because we were doing it. Much to my daughter's chagrin, because I was growing whatever. It's not growing hair out. I just hadn't shaved, but she likes that. Yeah, she's like, Daddy grew his hair. Lakeitha was like, no, Daddy did not grow his hair. She's like, Daddy just hadn't shaved, baby. Right. That's what that was. But so I shaved, and tomorrow I will go get this much far more kempt.
Well, you're fairly well kempt right now, I must say.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you saying so. I'm going to Sunday. I'm going to Flowery Branch.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, for open practice.
In regards to Kyle Pitts.
That's one of the reasons we're going up to check him out, to see how he's running those routes, see how crisp they are. See if that money's weighing him down.
Yeah. See if old Noodle Arm can get it to him.
All those things. Sorry. All those things. Hey,
I love my Falcons. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that.
I know you do. So I had to mention that.
I certainly appreciate it. Hey, one more thing before we jump into tonight's movie, man. So again, I have touted on countless episodes how great of a follow Joe is, just in general, like about Morehouse stuff, about everything. But today, Joe might have posted one of my favorite stories he's ever posted.
I forgot.
Joe posted a gang war, a monkey gang war in Thailand. Apparently in Thailand, it is in dire straits. COVID has led to a situation where the monkeys, which were once reliant upon receiving food from people, are now at odds against each other. And the monkey world has been turned on its ear, as it were.
If you don't follow Washington Post Instagram, please go to the WAPO Instagram page and check this thing out. It is amazing. How many? It was at least 100 monkeys out there, right? At least 100.
Oh man, that's a conservative estimate. Yeah, man. These
just in the streets.
The streets, man. And it's like what did you say? The sharks
for the streets. Yeah, the sharks and the jets. Yeah.
we're trying to figure out like how do the monkeys determine which squad they're on? Like,
I don't know, man. I think it's like what part of like, and why are they just freely running through?
Oh man, well, now I'll tell you, Joe,
I've never been to Thailand. So
I've been to Thailand. God bless. I've had the pleasure. I took a trip with my good friends Jeff and Danny and James and Tanya and Geraldine and Brian. We all went to Thailand. We had a good time in Dietrich, and the monkeys are there. And not only are they there, like they will snatch your phone. They will snatch. Yeah, they'll snatch your things. They are as mischievous as the movies make them out to be.
So the Hangover 3, that wasn't like a crazy notion.
That's not a crazy notion at all.
Okay.
The monkeys are watching you from the trees. They're looking for like an easy mark, and boom. Like if you got some, like there's a cashew place that you can go to in Bangkok or in Phuket rather, and if you have your cashews out and open, just chilling, you know what I mean? They'll grab them, like for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, the monkeys are bold, and so this is not far afield. Like when I saw it, I was amused and I was bemused, but I was not surprised.
But it kind of reminded me of some of like, I Am Legend.
But
there were cars moving and people were moving about, but they were deep. So you got to check that out. Please.
They were about that action, boss.
They were about that action and could care less about those cars or anything else. They were here for food.
Man.
Hunting with the family, looking for a little soul food.
Come and get your soul food. All right, so tonight, as mentioned on the Instagram story, if you're not following the Open Task Podcast on Instagram, you should be following us, the Open Task Podcast. We got a loyal legion of followers, so I'm
thank you for every single one of them.
Every single one. Every single one of them. Thank you. Nicole, new listeners. Like there's people out here that are listening, so we appreciate you.
Absolutely, thank you.
But so as mentioned on this story, this one is a special one. Like Raekwon said, man, this is only for certain people. You know what I mean? It's only for certain people. Like only people for Cuban links, and I'm bracing myself because I know some people that are not going. But we're gonna talk about this movie because this movie is quintessential. It's something that is special and holds a dear place to a lot of people. And we're dedicating the show tonight, Joe.
Yes. Thank you to my main man, Dr. Our Morehouse brother, Dr. Timothy Jarrell Cunningham, Commander Timothy Jarrell Cunningham, Doctor of Science. But he was a member of Morehouse Class of 04. But he was a huge fan of Let's Do It Again, and on many occasions, Tim and I would sit in his home in his home and watch this film and laugh and theorize over plot lines and twists and turns. Yeah. And so, were he with us and not departed, he would be joining us on this podcast tonight because I know no bigger fan. Well, at least our age, or close to our age. I know no bigger fan of the film that's not a septuagenarian that can speak on it. Yeah. Sidney Poitier, unfortunately, didn't return our calls to participate, and probably because those calls were in my head.
Yeah. Well, we might have been able to enlist some help, but that's okay.
It is.
We won't go there. All right. So, but yes, man, for sure. Tim is with us. Like,
absolutely.
Full stop. He's with us tonight. So, as mentioned, we are covering 1975. What was the release date, Joe?
October 24th.
October 24th.
I think it was October. Whoa! I just had it up. Sorry. I think it's October 24th. Sorry about that. October 11th. Sorry, October 11th.
October 11th, 1975. Let's do it again. Another summer. Hey.
I'm sorry.
So directed by Sidney Poitier.
The
Oscar-winning, legendary
actor,
activist,
all those things.
Philanthropist.
Human rights and social rights. Civil rights activist.
Yes.
Human rights activist.
Yes.
Just a pioneer.
Yeah, indeed. And so
Sartorialist.
yes,
A pioneer.
We know the love of the sartorial excellence. So
without question.
Yeah, man. This is was it his second film? This is his second film.
I don't know if it is the second. Well, did he
he
direct,
certainly did Uptown Saturday Night.
Well, then it's at least his second film.
Yeah, at least the second film. He
I'll find that out. But keep going,
it was his directing these films was a direct response to the time period.
Yep.
Wherein blaxploitation was the name of the game for Black actors that were not as renowned as he was. And so he was not satisfied with the films that were out. They were not well made. The plots were nonsensical at times. They were exploitive. I mean, they put the exploitation in blaxploitation. And so as such, he felt the dignity. And the thing that when I think of the name Sidney Poitier, I think about dignity. Dignity is the number one word I think of when I think of Sidney Poitier. And so certainly this film was a response to that.
This was his fourth film. His first. He directed Buck and the Preacher with him.
Oh, that's right.
Which was 72. Which was 72. It's all right. You good. And then he directed A Warm December.
Okay.
In 73, starring Esther Anderson, Yvette Curtis, Johnny Secca, George Baker, and Earl Cameron.
Okay.
And then of course, Uptown Saturday Night.
Yes.
Then this film, Let's Do It Again.
Yes.
And then a piece of the action. He directed nine times.
Nine times.
Yeah, but he directed Hanky Panky in 82, starring Gene Wilder and Gilda Radner.
There you go. See?
And in all sincerity, 82 with Wilder and Radner, that was a very big deal.
That's big shit. Absolutely.
I just want to say that, like,
absolutely,
there weren't a lot of Black directors with two white stars,
no.
bankable white stars,
bankable whites, because like Gene Wilder and Gilda Radner was like from that run all the way up until one of my favorites, but really a trash movie, Haunted Honeymoon.
But he directed Stir Crazy too. Yeah. I did. I mean,
well,
actually, his last film was probably one of the worst films ever made. The last one he directed.
We shan't.
I'm not even gonna go there. But it's funny because
it started as co-star in this film.
right. But the funny, there's a great picture, which kind of lends to. I don't want to talk Uptown Saturday Night too much, but it lends credence to the notion of Uptown Saturday Night because there's this great picture where Harlem Nights is being made the same time Ghost Dad was. Mm-hmm. So the two the stars of both films played softball against each other.
And I've seen that. Yes.
Right. And so Poitier and Cosby were in the Ghost Dad stuff, and Eddie and Richard and Red
Fox,
were in the Harlem, the Harlem Nights gear in Arsenio.
Yeah,
but I've only seen with the five of them. I've only seen the pictures of the five of them.
Yeah,
the Mount Rushmore group.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I think it's extremely interesting. Just how that all, and then softball was in the game of softball was in Uptown Saturday Night. So. But it harkens back to a time when the movies are just work, and these regular people, and you get days off or you get afternoons off, and you get, and movies are being made like next to each other on sets, and you hang out,
you mingle,
you mingle. So that's just an interesting caveat. But we're talking about Let's Do It Again.
Absolutely. Let's do it again. So 1975, it was the sequel to Uptown Saturday Night.
Yeah,
but different characters. Like
different cities
different cities. So went from up north.
Yeah, Chicago, I think. Was it not Chicago?
It was Chicago.
Yes. Yeah, Chicago to Atlanta.
Yeah. So what the hell? And of course, if you're including Atlanta, much to my chagrin, you have to include the city of New Orleans. So
You know, the beauty of it though, it was in Atlanta. Let's talk about the. Can we talk?
Yeah,
about
yeah. Let's talk about. Yeah. Sure. Talk about it. Talk about it.
So they made this in Atlanta. I mean, it's Atlanta, New Orleans. There's a scene or two in LA, but it's not important. It's a car scene.
Yeah,
it's not important. But Atlanta and New Orleans, the cool and to me, I think I watched it as a kid, and I was like, it's not even in Atlanta. And then one day I was watching with Tim. I said, that's City Hall.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, that's City Hall. Before they built, before Maynard built the new part of City Hall. That's the original. Well, not the original, but that was City Hall at the time. The top, because Atlanta's gone through several iterations of a quote unquote City Hall. Yes. But that was City Hall at the time.
Yeah.
Even though the building inside looked kind of like City Hall East. I mean, the place where they were, it looked like the old City Hall East. Like when you had to get like a permit for something, but it's not important. It's not important right now. Okay. The cool thing about it was now where City Hall is, it juts out in all these directions, but there was a parking lot. There's literally a parking lot. I have notes. There was a parking lot right there,
of course,
where you could just go, where you could just go out there and park on the side door of City Hall, and then like the Georgia State, the Gold Dome is in the shot. It is so cool. It is so cool. And I'm not from here. This is an adopted hometown. My daughter is definitely
you an Atlantan through and through. You are an Atlantan through and through. So
I appreciate that, but I truly do.
Joe from Dallas.
But thank you. But there were black movies. Black movies were being made.
Yeah.
Here, Richard Pryor was making movies here down here. Billy D. Williams was making movies down here.
William D. Williams.
Yeah, William D. Simber. William D. Simber Williams was making movies down here, and so it was a big deal. And Maynard was definitely doing his part to entice brothers to come to town. It's kind of interesting to me.
Yeah.
That these black mayors do not get their due when it comes to these revivals of the film industry in different in little epochs. But now it's to the roof, right? Yeah. And now and then on the state level when you get the tax breaks and things of that nature. But it was a big deal. Yeah, it was a big deal. And in 1975, Sidney Poitier and William Henry Cosby, huge.
Yeah,
I mean, they were larger than life. And for them to say, no, and for them to say we're going to make our movie in Atlanta, they could have easily made the whole thing in New Orleans, or
Detroit, or
Detroit, or something else, or just called it Atlanta. But they literally made the film in Atlanta.
Yeah, so much money in Atlanta.
Yes. So I had so as he's riding through Atlanta Dairies, I don't know what that is. Still don't know what it. I looked it up. I couldn't find Atlanta Dairies.
Atlanta Dairies. They used to supply all the milk for the schools, like in the
there we go.
Schools. Fulton County schools, Atlanta public schools.
So that's legit.
Yeah, that's super legit.
Oh,
Atlanta
I love
Dairies. That's super legit.
Okay. Well, I'm very excited about this now. Okay, now I'm even more excited.
That's because now I remember the milk cartons back in the old day, the red and white milk cartons. Yeah.
Well, because Clyde was driving for Atlanta Dairies, Atlanta Dairies. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So Clyde was driving for Atlanta Dairies, and as he's riding through, literally, it looks like the Summerhill neighborhood.
It's definitely Summerhill. Yeah.
Because thank you. So before the Olympic arena, so you couldn't really see Fulton County Stadium there, but I could kind of tell. It might have just been to the left of it or right of it or whatever. Yeah. But the way he was driving at the beginning, the opening scene, when he's driving through, dropping off milk and driving through, I was like, that's Summerhill. That's got to be Summerhill.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know what Summerhill is, that's over by. Okay, Alvin, please tell us.
Well, I mean, it's the reason why. It's the reason why all of our teams lose now, because that area was the area right by the stadiums, like right, Techwood, all that was. It's adjacent to it. So as you're coming off of Capitol Avenue, and into that area, that's Summerhill. And it was a housing, like they had a housing project, but they also had mixed income housing there. Lots of people from lots of different walks of life living in that area. And then the sports teams said, hey, we want to put some stadiums here.
Yeah, we want to build here. Oh, this is good land. We're just gonna put it. We're just gonna say
eminent domain.
Just take it away. Make millions and millions of dollars off that space, and then we're gonna put an Olympic stadium here too.
And so the Turner Field, all of that that was the Summerhill neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, and so a lot of old Atlanta sports fans, such as myself, attribute between that and tearing down the old Friendship Baptist Church and the other churches for the domes. We're not going to ever win a title because of these things. We mess with the juju, as it were.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Where I'm from, just by pasture. They just buy pasture where I'm from, and you buy pasture, but
you leave a hole in the roof so
God can see his team.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But so it starts in Summerhill with Clyde, and then later we see in the scene behind me, and I just got to say this because of the great Jane Kennedy is in the scene.
Yes, talk about it
behind me, and we see Billy Foster played by William Henry Cosby. He's there. Of course, we don't know he's married, but he's being wildly flirtatious.
Very litigious.
With Jane Kennedy. And it is Jane Kennedy.
It is the Jane Kennedy.
In 1975.
The height.
Yes.
The height.
Unfortunately, she had no lines. So it's like she did a day on the movie.
Yeah.
And she was just being herself, walking. And it was enough. It was her fine self walking, and it was enough for Bill Cosby to like run into a something, and so just shout out to Jane Kennedy. That's why she's there, because she's she's working in the personnel department, wherever Billy was working. Yeah. The beauty of where Billy was working is that cameo number one starts with Jane Kennedy.
Yes.
So imagine you're sitting in the movie theater at CNN Center. I don't know if it was built yet, or wherever blacks would go to see a movie in Atlanta at the time.
Sure.
And you're sitting in a movie theater, and at the Lenox Mall 6, at the Lenox 6, and
the Lenox 6.
Yeah, and the first you see Poitier driving through. You're in Atlanta, man, and you see Poitier driving through Summerhill in an Atlanta Dairies truck, and you're like, "What?
Yeah.
This is my town. What in the world? This is crazy." And then you see Jane Kennedy, and if you're any self-respecting black person, as many people in Atlanta are, you got Ebony Magazine, Fashion Fair, who Jane Kennedy is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right. So you see Jane Kennedy. And then in 1975, Calvin, in the next scene, after you see who is Cosby talking to in the locker room, who does he almost get in a fight with?
The champ.
Exactly.
The champ is here.
George Foreman. Months after Zaire.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, this movie came out in 75. Zaire was October 74. When the Rumble in the Jungle was October 74. So this is like, you hadn't seen him in a movie before. So this is like really a big deal. And Foreman was kind of good.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Two flat left feet. What?
He
hit you in your navel.
It wasn't a simple cameo. He actually he brought it. He brought it with him.
He did. I was like super excited for him, and very, very, it was very cool. And I just want to say this next. I was waiting for that fight to happen. It was a little interesting. They both had no shirts on. It was a little interesting. Forever. So I'm fast forwarding past that now.
Sure.
To go to Big Bethel. And I'm gonna shut up so we can get to the
normal
format. But I'm so serious about these Atlanta scenes. I'm so serious about the Atlanta scenes because they go to City Hall, they do the thing. The little girl urinates. I think it's probably one of his daughters, by the way. Urinates on his leg. Probably Evan. It's just a stinky suspicion.
It's Evan.
I think, but she was a little older. No, a little younger than that, because we're a year apart in age, and so she would have been a little too old, young to be in a scene. But anyway, your little girl urinates on his leg, and then they find out they need the $10,000, and so they pull up to Big Bethel, Big Bethel AME Church. I mean,
historic.
Look, man, you can't get much more Atlanta, or shoot, Black America. It's on Auburn Avenue, Auburn and 75. I don't know if 85 was around yet. I don't think it, yeah, it was 75, 85. Auburn is 75, 85, right there. The Royal Peacocks on the corner. Bronner Brothers, the Bronner Brothers storefront is across the street. Next time you watch that movie, please pause it when they're outside of the church.
Yeah, it's so much history right there.
Yeah, Lee Chamberlain and Denise Nicholas, they're standing right there, and like Poitier pulls up, and then and he's out there, and if you just look at there's the Rexall drugs, there like I said, there's the Bronner Brothers shop right there. Now we know the original was in the West End on Hunter Street, Hunter and Ashby, but the downtown shop was right there in the heart of this black mecca.
Yeah.
That was Auburn Avenue. And that was like Black history in and of itself, just right there, that scene going into Big Bethel. And forever I was like, man, what is this church? I know that corner.
Yeah.
I know that corner. So I looked it up. Of course, it's Big Bethel. So that's what I want to say. And I'm gonna shut up and we'll get back to
man. Hey, look, this is an integral.
PG.
This is an integral part of the, like, to understand the importance of this movie, because this movie is important. It's important. And so to understand that and to get kind of into the realm of it, it's perfect. I wouldn't change a thing about anything you just said, man. So
I just love the Atlanta parts, man. I'm just really big on the Atlanta parts. That to me, everything else was an interior. After that, the Atlanta stuff was interior, or might not even been in Atlanta after that. So that was real authentic.
Yeah, no, it's Super West. So I want to jump back to, like, so I know we're not, again, I want to reiterate, this is not about Uptown Saturday Night, but it helps to frame things. Bill Cosby was not really satisfied with the outcome of Uptown Saturday Night and how it was made.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I think he wanted to strive for more. He thought they could do better. And that was the onus to create this film. And
the onus is not on me. The onus is, I'm sorry, Boomerang. Sorry.
That's old work. Listen to our old work.
Yeah, the onus is not on me. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
As a result, they made this film, and it's a better film.
Much better. Clean. It's tight. It's clean. Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Madame Zenobia's makes no sense.
No sense.
Even though that was based on something that happened in Atlanta.
Huh. I didn't know
Until
that.
Saturday night. Oh, you didn't know that story? Keep going. I'll talk to you about it.
Anyway. All right. Yeah. Fair enough. So, they decided to make this film, and a lot of the same players from Uptown Saturday Night, as we mentioned. Regrettably missing, Harry Belafonte, but otherwise, I would argue a more star-studded cast, and so is a phenomenon. Made on a $700,000 budget, which I don't know what that equates to now, but it's not a lot still. I think it was 700,000. Made on a very small budget. Yeah, no, 70.
It was 70,000.
70,000.
I got a hard time believing that. I just can't believe that it was only that they made the movie for 70,000. I have a.
Well, maybe they were contributing out of pocket, but made 11.8 million. So
yeah, hello.
Yeah. So this movie was a phenomenon, and so this is the question I have for you, Joe. When was the first time that you recall seeing this film, and under what circumstances? Like, what was that like?
So I conflate the two, because as a child, there's a scene in Uptown Saturday Night. I'm sorry, you can't talk about this without talking about Uptown. Sure. You just can't. Yeah. With Uptown Saturday Night, where they jump off the bridge.
Yeah.
And go after the money, and then they're laid up in the, they both definitely, and then they're laid up in the hospital beds, right?
Yeah.
So I remember that as a child, like, Daddy, what happened? I remember that as a child, probably being 5, seeing Uptown Saturday Night, and then it was like a double play.
Yeah.
So then I watched Let's Do It Again, and I knew the reason I knew who it was. JJ from Good Times.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, oh, this is a movie. JJ's in it. Like, I'm sitting here. I'm not going anywhere. I was like 6 years old. So I was probably 6 years old.
Okay.
So I was 6 years old when I first saw it. When remembered what I was watching. I was probably 13 or 14 on a spring break, TBS. I think it was a good old Ted Turner. TBS was probably playing in the afternoon. Remember how Ted used to play Shaft a lot because they bought the MGM catalog.
Yeah.
The first time I saw Shaft was on TBS on like a Tuesday at like 3. And I'm pretty sure I watched this TBS. I'm pretty sure it was on TBS because this film was made by First Artists, and I don't know who they were. I don't know who they were, but I was probably like 13 or 14 when I first retained it. Okay. But I saw it the first time I was 6. How about you?
Not until college. Okay. And I want to say it was my boy.
Even better.
I want to say it was my boy B. Probably more likely than not. Movies like this I saw with Bernard Clayton. Because B was on it, man. He was the barber. And barber culture, they in the culture. So I'm sure it was with Bernard at some point. But yeah, that was the first time I saw it. And I got to be honest with you. In college, I guess where I was at the time, I wasn't like super duper impressed with it. I was just like, okay,
you don't have to. You don't have to be.
Yeah, sure. But it was watching it, especially in subsequent viewings as an adult. Certainly, like I get it. I'm so appreciative of it now. But that was the circumstances with which I saw it. So I want to jump into this real quick before we go to our next point, because you talked about First Artists. This is actually a conglomerate, a production company made by Barbra Streisand, Paul Newman, Sidney Poitier, Dustin Hoffman, and Steve McQueen.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Which shows you who Sidney Poitier was.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, Sidney Poitier, man. Like you can't understate.
I don't think we really. Well, actually, Morehouse College honorary class of 1985. I don't think we really have a good grasp of the power that he wielded in Hollywood and the good that he did with that power. Not to mention in front of him, behind the camera. Not to mention, it was just so rare.
Yeah,
and the two of them together, that's a supernova. At that point,
absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
a supernova.
Absolutely. So in past few episodes, we kind of have not really given a lot of shrift to one of our founding categories, but little things, Joe. What little things stand out to you in this film, man? Besides the Atlanta stuff, what little things stand out?
I'm big on sounds.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so little tiny sounds and things. I thought the film was very authentic.
Okay.
In that it captured more so New Orleans than Atlanta. I mean, but it definitely captured. I'm gonna get back to the sounds, but the little scene in New Orleans when they're there for the day and they go through and now it's just it's a mechanical set of legs that go out, but at the time there was an actual person who sat on that saddle for several years, on that swing for several years, and did that down in the quarter. But I love that the freedom that they seem to have in New Orleans, a deeply segregated city, just 10 years earlier, but the freedom that they seem to have there in a city with so much racial opaqueness. It's a nice way to put it. My grandfather, the Joseph Goldenstein, who picked up Carlos when he left home. Yes. His father's name, Goldenstein, being of mixed race, being biracial, and being in New Orleans, and despite and so we know all those things about New Orleans, but they go there and they're just having a good time because it is still, you just came back from there not that long ago. It is still one of our great treasures. No matter what, whenever you drop down,
no place like it. No place like it.
Thank God for that. Thank God for that. And I love the little things. One of the little things for me is how authentic that was, because you get there, not a care in the world. Let's do it. We stand somewhere. Another little thing for me, when they check into the Ramada, I wrote this down. When they checked in the Ramada, it was sorry, I did. Well, Chick to Ramada, it was back at a time when you had to like sign your name in to a hotel.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So when you registered in a hotel, you had to like write your name on a little card to let them know that that you were there. And the swing restaurant or bar was called Judah P's Living Room. So when they're in Max, so this is another thing, and another little thing for me. Those sounds always give me anxiety. So the little tiny sounds give me a little anxiety.
Okay.
When they're eating, and they're eating like they've never eaten before, by the way.
Yeah, right.
And so
they probably had some of those char-grilled Drago's oysters or something. Hey, look.
maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. But those little sounds like got on my nerves. But my last little thing, my last small thing though, is the breadth of graft and just bad guy stuff that Kansas City Mac was into. You know, he had the legitimate business, you know, at Max, and where he did his business out of, but he had a warehouse. You know, he had the wire room. He had he could go all over town, and the one police lieutenant happened to know who he was.
Yeah,
you know, he's that bad. He's that dastardly in a city where Carlos Marcellus is still there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In a city that's still very run by organized crime, by mafia. This guy, Kansas City Mac, is the Black Don.
Yeah.
You know, and despite all that, he lives with impunity and does his thing.
He does.
How about you? What are little things for you?
So first and foremost,
I'm sorry, you were going to say he does. You had a.
No, I was just saying he does. He does. He runs that town. Like, you know, I mean, he's the man in you know, in these streets. So for me, like, it's the names of the characters. Like, even like, you know, Clyde and Billy. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But like, you know, 40th Street Black and Bootney Lee Farnsworth.
Bootney Lee Farnsworth.
and Biggie Smalls, and you know, as posted on the, and we'll come back to that in a second.
Okay.
Posted in the our Instagram story. You know, the fourth, like, so you had Kansas City Mac, and you got Bubble Top.
Bubble Top, baby.
You got Fish and Chips Freddy. And Jody Tips.
Is there a better name than Jody Tips?
There's no better name.
Jody Tips was in the Mac, by the way, too. Jody Tips was in the Mac.
Really?
And he was in the Mac. Look it up. He was in the Mac. Because he gave the Mac some game. He's sitting there. I think he's like blind. He's like a blind Mac in the club.
Wow.
And the only reason I know that is because of a season 3 film I'm going to add to our collection, American Film.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. There's a scene where he said, "You got to run him like you've never run him before," and he just sits hitting the Jody's in it. He's there.
Okay.
So I'm sorry.
No,
but keep going. These names were amazing.
You got a white man named Rufus.
Rufus.
White man named Rufus. Like, you know,
back when they had hotel detectives, by the way.
Right. You had to have. I mean, that's why people checked into the hotels and wrote their names. You know, you had just these names of these characters, man. Were just. I mean, you know, it was creative. It was funny.
Now you kind of see where Spike gets those names. Now you kind of see where Spike gets those
boom.
Wild.
Yes, Joe. That's exactly it.
Flipper, Purify.
Right, exactly.
Bleak Gilliam.
So the pervasiveness, and I know this kind of steps on our societal impact, but I want to say the pervasiveness of this movie, man, in hip hop culture, Black American culture. Like, I mean, you know, you think about Camp Lo, their first album, Uptown Saturday Night, second album, Let's Do It Again. Like, you think about Biggie Smalls could not lay claim to the name Biggie Smalls, aka Christopher Wallace, because of this film. Calvin Lockhart sued him. But you know, we know him as Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls is illest. He's Biggie. And you know, this film. Farnsworth Bentley, our Morehouse brother.
Yes.
Farnsworth. You know what I mean? Like, so
he changed
like,
it to Farnsworth, but it was the
right,
same. So,
right.
yeah, but
It's definitely
it's the same thing. It's the same
yeah.
thing.
This movie, like, I mean, it just was so pervasive, man. And then, you know, we talked about the film having these characters that were, you know, big stars in the 70s. Like, I mean, John Amos and Jimmy Walker are JJ Walker
Ooh.
are like, they
Ooh.
are in the height of their fame.
Yeah.
You talk to a woman like in our parents' age range and bring up the name Calvin Lockhart. You bring up you bring up Jane Kennedy to a guy our dad's age. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
This is Denise Nichols. Denise Nicholas, sorry.
I'm coming back to that, by the way.
Like, I mean, this is like you were talking about in the pre-show. We were talking about the remake, the proposed remake, and how
I gotta look that. I gotta look that up. I gotta look that. But I was hoping I emailed it to myself.
I posited to you, we couldn't do it. Ossie Davis.
No, we. So at the time when I wanted to do, keep going. At the time when I wanted to, it was like 2005. So, so at the time I wanted to do it, it was long. You know, it was long ago.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure it was a Martin and I'm gonna just go on a limb and say it was a Martin and what's his name? Martin Norton and Will Smith.
Yeah. Sure.
But I think we could do it again if you permit me. But I don't want to slow you down. Keep going with.
No,
keep going with your
little we'll come back. We'll come back.
No. I don't want to mess with your thoughts.
Right, so I'm good. The other thing, you know, is the overt shout out to Freemasonry and Shriners. And,
oh gosh, yes.
You know,
like the sons and daughters of Shaka.
Right. And it's crazy because, like, if you look at modern reviews, like I watched a YouTube clip and somebody's talking about making money for their church, and it's clear that like they have no understanding about what this actually is. Like, this is
how far back.
Yeah.
How far back this tradition goes.
Right.
Because, you know, we were stripped of religion.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Our culture, our God, and many of us, by the way we act, we even lost our mind.
Thank you, brother.
but no problem. But you know, we had to create these things, and so it's like their own Shriners, but it seems like it's a social order, but it's religious.
Yeah.
Many of these lodge members have been there for years, and we have to protect them. You know, and it's like, okay, is it a lodge? Is it like what's going on here? It's some mystical. With all due respect, you know, I'm 5-6 years old when I first see it. You know what I mean? And even when I'm 14, I still don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I've seen Shriners.
Yeah.
You know, I've obviously seen that, but I still didn't know quite what it all was. And then the women were there too, so it seemed like it was interesting. But they were dressed almost as though they were Muslim. Or it
had that vibe to it. It definitely had that vibe.
Like they didn't know what to they didn't know what to do, particularly when they moved to the new spot.
Yeah.
And you know, Denise had the one of those swoop.
Yeah. Talk about it, man. Hey, so look, I guess that's a good segue, man. To
Denise Nicholas.
Unsung heroes, man. Joe, who are your unsung heroes of the film?
Oh, the wives. Lee Chamberlain.
Talk about it.
I mean, I love them. I love them. Yeah. They're up to. They know the boys are up to no good, like Inglewood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yet, you know, when Billy pulls up to Big Bethel and says, "You can get a new car, but you can't buy a wife." When he says that, you know what I think about when I hear that?
What do you think?
Because he's acting. He's acting.
Yeah. You
know what I think about? Old Dirty Bastard on the Chris Rock.
Yeah.
If a brick could talk.
I wonder how much of Old Dirty Bastard's persona, thinking about it, was from some of this. Like his cadences and everything like that are heavy Bill Cosby cadences. Like
had to be a lot. It's kind of like Kanye. Jump from one Lily Pad to another. Kanye and like Will Ferrell. If you ever look at the Will Ferrell connection, I'm sure if you Google Kanye Will Ferrell, if you ever just look at the connections and see how many Sweet Baby Jesus,
Yeah.
I was listening to Watch the Throne while washing dishes the other day, and I said, that one, it flown over my head for 10 years.
Yeah.
It didn't even occur to me that was Talladega Nights. Like it didn't even, because so many others were like on the nose. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
Niggas in Paris is that's
Blazing Glory.
But he excuse me, Blazing Glory. Yeah. But he and then there's other times throughout different songs, he's got a serious affectation and admiration for but you could tell there's got to be some influence from ODB. But back to Denise Nicholas and Lee Chamberlain. To me, they are the unsung heroes of the film.
Sure.
They're supportive, they're solid, they're smart.
Yeah.
They don't want to ask questions they don't want answers to.
Well, they're told not to ask questions. Don't ask me any questions.
Don't ask me anything just yet. I don't foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Well, it's bad. Actually,
hey, it's a huge elephant.
It's one of the cringeworthy things of the film. Like that scene was very
watching it now in the context of what we know.
It's extremely cringeworthy.
Yeah.
But I loved when she said they up to something, and Lee Chamberlain said, I just love. I mean, we love Black women. Good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they were brilliant. They were smart, brilliant, beautiful,
brave, down. Yeah, all of that.
Walked into the lions' dens.
Yeah.
And walked out, did the job. I mean, let's talk about Denise Nicholas going into
Biggie Smalls is
yeah.
Tell that child to get that gun from off of my head.
Yeah. That was dope.
Amazing.
That was dope. That was super dope. That was probably my favorite moment in the movie. Actually, was tell that child to get this gun. So Joe, you brought up the wives. My favorite scene involving the wives is the dinner. And the discussion about
Did you notice throughout that day how they're acting? Like Bill Cosby, it was what we could call fresh.
Yes, very fresh.
I think, I don't even know if you knew the camera was. I don't even know if you knew the camera was on. I'm just gonna keep calling him Billy. Billy Foster was fresh. Like every time, it was always something extremely sexual, and if you watch it again, you gotta watch this.
Beth was with it though. Beth was
down. I love that. That looked like the fun house. That's where you want to come hang out over there. But
that's what
the dinner was great. There you go. The dinner was great. When they're at Max, and he's like, and I love. You know what I love about that? The best part when he talks, and she said, and he was picking up on my vibe, picking up on them.
On them.
He said, and I've got something to lay on you tonight.
Yes.
Like, what?
Yes. Yeah.
He was like, he took it from like 5 to a zillion in like 30 seconds. In less than 30 seconds.
All the pieces are there. It's all there.
It's all there. It's all laid out. Because at first he's just mild, man. I mean, but he was staring at Jane. But it's Jane Kennedy walking through the yard there.
Every single one of us.
Plant. Some little plant in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Every single one of us would do.
Oh yes. Who among us would not? But yeah, man, I love that scene too. And she said, "Yeah, but what if someone should hear you?"
Right.
I love Lee Chamberlain because that's me. Lee Chamberlain's me. Like, shut up, y'all. Please shut up.
It was great. And then, the tension among the friends.
Oh, baby. Baby.
I love it, man. I'm so glad you mentioned the wives, man. Because that's it, man.
They're mine. But at the very end, she goes, I'll go to, come on, go to the bathroom with me. She doesn't want to go. She said, oh, come on, girl. Or something like, oh, girl, come on.
Yeah.
Black woman.
All right.
Yeah, Black women.
We've been there.
Yes.
All of us.
Yeah, we have. That's every day. There's 2 in this house. There's 2 in this house. Every day. Okay, so
God bless and protect Black women. God bless and protect
at all costs.
So for me, I like we were talking about in the pre-show, Biggie Smalls is my guy. Calvin Lockhart as Biggie Smalls.
Shout out to Calvin Lockhart.
The smoothness, like when he confronts Kansas City Mac at the sparring for the second boxing match.
There's behind you right now.
Yes. Where he his crew and Kansas City Mac's his opinion of Biggie Smalls' crew. Where he's he's got all these college educated expletive deleted. Saying maybe I should get me a couple of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's satisfied with his crew.
But maybe I should take a walk. Maybe I should take a walk.
He's got a diverse crew. Biggie Smalls has a diverse crew. He's got a white man. He's got a young woman in his crew, like integral, like Snoop. Like again, all the stuff we love and revere is, whether intentional or not, derivative of a lot of the stuff in this film. Very derivative of it. Like there's no Snoop. The chick, God bless, I can't remember her name, but his young gunner and his crew. The chick that held the gun to her head.
Yeah, I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get her name in just a second. Keep going. I'm sorry.
But she walked so Snoop could run. You know what I mean? like this. It's so much of what we love in current culture comes from this film, and it's just Biggie Smalls and his crew are it for me. I love.
Yeah.
Calvin Lockhart is not talked about enough in terms of like his impact on film and his role. Like again, talk to women of a certain age about Calvin Lockhart.
Right.
And they're gonna tell you he was a heartthrob. They loved him.
Quickly. They'll tell you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So Biggie Smalls is the guy for me. Shout out to Jimmy Walker, who he's not quite playing JJ, but
no, not quite, but pretty close. He only had like 5 lines too.
Yeah. But when he's exuberant about winning the title, who's the champ? I'm the champ.
I'm the champ. I have a great little thing to tell you about Biggie's crew, by the way.
Hit me. Lay it on me.
The guy over your shoulder. The white member of his crew.
Okay.
He's the guy. I'm sorry. He's the guy. He's the fortune hunter in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, who beats Henry Jones Jr. to the cross.
In that opening scene with River Phoenix?
Yeah, and with the hat on. That's him. Yeah.
I got the Weebay fix going. Hey.
His name is Biggie's crony number 3. He does not have a name in the film, but he's Biggie's crony number 3.
Wow.
And his picture is an actor named Richard Young, and his picture is, he's here. That's who he is.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. What else can I say?
I just want to throw that. What can I don't know. I just want to say.
What else can I say, man?
I just want to share that with you. But all right. So you're a big Biggie. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Shout out to Ossie Davis. In all of his glory. When I hear him now, I hear the eulogy for Malcolm X. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. On this day.
Yeah. Yes. On this day. Did he ever smile at you? Like, yeah.
I love that line. Oh gosh, I love that line.
Yeah. It's quintessential. But yeah, man.
Then you will know what we know. Oh, because he loved us so. Beautiful. Gosh, goosebumps.
Yeah. But I see. For the minutes that he's in the film, he's outstanding.
Oh, he's shining. He's outstanding. Yeah. And he made another film in Atlanta, my favorite movie of all time, School Days.
Yeah.
And he was in it for minutes as well, playing a beleaguered coach.
I don't even have to mention that your lady friends.
Who be what? No, you don't. I like when the guy said, "No, you don't." Do you like the devil? No.
Well, the devil
is in that other locker room. He's wearing black jerseys. Clark, can I get away? That's what he said. That's the line.
Yeah.
That's the line.
Yeah. Do you want me to lose my job?
Lose my job? Hell no.
Yeah, man, the great Oxy Davis.
It's pretty similar. It's pretty similar actually.
Yeah.
The affectations of screaming. It's only 12 years apart that he does both of them. So
he was the best.
Hey, he was the without question.
He was
without
the best.
question.
He was the best. So
simply the best. Yeah, I'm sorry. Keep going.
I've already kind of talked about societal impact. I don't know if we need to rehash.
Yeah, you did it. You did it to death. You did it to death.
And genre, like as far as genre defining, I think this is kind of relevant because like at the time,
huge
like Coffee and you know, I mean, and I'm not shitting on these movies. As a matter of fact, we'll come back to blaxploitation with my man Dave Lewis at some point in season 3. But certainly blaxploitation it deserves and needs respect, if only for the number of people who were employed and were given legitimate acting jobs, SAG, all that. So
their credits, SAG, DAG,
right,
Writers Guild, you name name it, you know, casting.
But that being said, this film added some dignity to that genre. And allowed for, you know, I mean, for movies that you didn't have to kind of cover your eyes or, you know, cover your ears. Like a family could watch these movies with some innuendo. Right.
Yeah. But a lot of it, I didn't understand it anyway. I was a little kid.
It's just like watching a Shrek or anything else now. Like, you know, I mean, like Toy Story, there are jokes for adults in these movies too. You know what I mean? Like, so.
True.
But my point, like, you know, they oh man, there you go.
Oof.
There you go. Atlantic history there. Atlantic history all over the place, man.
Yeah. At Big Bethel, right? At Big Bethel. Yeah.
All over the place.
We live in our dreams. We live in our dreams.
It definitely, and they talked about like, you know, independence in the Black community, black love, tremendous amount of Black love. Like, I mean, these relationships, the male-female relationships, the male-male relationships, the female-female relationships, all of the relationships in this film, you know, just teeming with love and with respect. And
absolutely,
you know, even the gangsters, you know, I mean, like, you know, it's not just like hitting you over the head with like, I mean, they like there's definite tension there. There's the threat of violence, but
always bubble top. You know, any scene with bubble top. You can get hurt.
It's the most gangster.
Yeah, you could definitely get hurt. Any scene with bubble top. Yeah. It could be going down.
It could go there.
Go ahead, please.
No, I'm done. I just wanted to shout that out as a part of the genre defining. Like this is it definitely changed the scene for blaxploitation and allowed for different types of blaxploitation films to be made that were comedies that were, you know, I mean, it wasn't just the usual formulaic stuff. So
right. I don't know. I did this obviously I did this I want to do a remake, and it was 2005. It was the 20-year anniversary, and I wanted to do a remake of the film. And so at the time, it made sense to me to have it to be Martin and Will. I thought they could pull that off very well. It was only 2 years after Bad Boys 2, and I thought, you know, with the two of them, Charlie Murphy as Bubble Top, at the time, I thought that would be great. I had Nicole Ari Parker as Beth, and I can't remember who I had as
Emily Jones or somebody, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it was something like that. But it was another. She was bigger star than that. It was bigger star than that.
Okay.
But I can't remember who. No, you know, it was Nia. It was Nia. And
nice.
So
very nice.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So now I want to do it. If you're good with it, if you're cool,
let's talk about it.
Remake. Let's talk about it. Let's do it again.
Okay.
Let's do it again. Ellipsis. Let's do it. Ellipsis again.
Yes.
I would. So now in those roles, because they have to be funny but with a heart, and part of it is Poitier's not really funny because he's directing and he's just not. He's
a great straight man.
Amazing. Yeah. So the question would be, who is the straight man in this?
Kaluuya.
That's who?
Daniel Kaluuya.
You think so? You think so?
Let's see. I got some imaging in mind.
No. That's yours. So that's fine. Daniel Kaluuya. Okay.
Who do you have as Clyde?
I don't know who I have as Clyde. Because I can't. If you say Daniel Kaluuya, of course I'm thinking Lakeith Stanfield.
That's exactly it.
But Lakeith Stanfield, I love Lakeith Stanfield when he makes me laugh.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's Billy. He's Billy for me. Lakeith is Billy.
See, to me, Billy has to be somebody that will send you on the ground laughing.
Okay.
Like somebody has to be a cut up.
Okay.
But not so much that he has all the lines.
Okay.
So ideally, even though he's too old to do it, Chappelle would be great.
Sure.
But he's far too old to do. He's not making movies like that.
Yeah. Sure.
And Kevin Hart's just oversaturated. But I think he could do it.
Can I posit somebody for you?
Yes. Everything's great. Yes.
Laurel.
I love it. Yeah. Oh no. But I wanted. Now we just have a coterie of guys that just make movies together. But I wanted Laurel to be one of the either Kansas City Mac possibly. Even though he's not.
I'm with it.
I like a younger Kansas City Mac.
I like it though. I like it because he has that menace. Let me talk about that real quick because John Amos. I don't think we say enough about John Amos and how. I mean, like John Amos just has this air of like authority. Yeah. Like he is. I mean, when he's on screen, even Cleo McDowell, James in Good Times, Tommy's dad on Martin. He's just like he's just like you don't want to mess with him. Yes, absolutely. You're not messing with John Amos. You know what I mean? So I think Laurel kind of has that.
He was in West Wing too. You played like the chair of the Joint Chiefs.
Yes.
Or like an admiral. He played an admiral, and even in that he was he's always believable.
Yeah.
He has a physical presence that you just gotta like. Okay. Yeah. What? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Kind of like my man Roger Mosley from when he was in Hang with Mr. Cooper as Coach Ricketts. It's one of my
Roger Mosley. You always always Roger Mosley. No question.
Yeah.
So I personally, I love the idea of Laurel. I would have him as Kansas City Mac.
Okay.
Now I don't know who Biggie would be. Maybe like Michael B. Jordan, or maybe, or some. Maybe that's where you go unknown and just go. But I think you make it cheesy and make it a total. The Bridgerton guy, the guy from Bridgerton.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Because then you just make it total heartthrob.
And you get that heartthrob. Exactly. Yeah, I'm with it.
And then you pack them in because you got the heartthrob, right?
Yeah.
So and Lil, I mean, I could see Lil Rel and Bridgerton going at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I mean, I think it would be amazing. And then you do their cruise exactly like it was. And you put like Bubble Top needs to be somebody like Mike Epps.
Yeah.
But I'm not afraid of Mike Epps. Like Mike Epps could have played Kansas City Mac too. Yeah. But I'm afraid of Mike Epps and Sparkle. Sure. But I'm not afraid of. I'm not generally afraid of. But I think he's funny enough to pull it off.
Yeah.
He's funny enough to pull that off. But Bubble Top needs maybe not. Maybe that. I just need somebody tough enough.
Yeah.
You need somebody tough enough to play Bubble Top. That's usually playing a heavy or a tough, some mean, heavy or tough.
Winston Duke.
Oh yeah, Winston Duke. Yeah,
Winston Duke.
But he's got to be old. But
he's got to have a little bit of younger. Okay, fair enough. No,
but maybe they're just younger. So you don't have that young. Maybe they're just two up and coming crews fighting for territory in one of America's smallest big cities.
Yeah.
In New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so we figure that out. That's good.
Yeah.
Winston Duke as Bubble Top. I got Laurel.
It's Kansas City Mac.
Laurel as Kansas City Mac, and I got Bridgerton guy. I don't know what his name is.
Jean Reach Page or something like that. Yeah, whatever.
Not important to me. It's not important to me.
The ladies will tell us. They know.
Yeah, the ladies will tell us exactly. As Biggie Small, and I'm not even looking it up. By the way, so we have Lakeith and Kaluuya as Lakeith and Kaluuya as Clyde and Billy. in reverse order. There's Billy and Clyde, and now then the wives would be that's going to be kind of tough.
Yeah.
But they have to be younger. It has to be believable, and they have to be young enough. And I prefer them to not have ever been in a film with them. Like I don't think I don't think. No. Yeah.
Okay.
I love and I haven't really seen JD do comedy.
Okay.
But I think he has the physical presence.
Okay.
He would have the physical presence to be Billy, but I'd rather him be the action guy and the serious actor that he is.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But eventually he's gonna have to do some they're gonna throw in some comedy, I'm pretty sure. But not in this one. But maybe he's another gangster. Maybe you have a whole another third gangster.
Sure.
But so when you said Zendaya,
but what about one of the boxers?
Yeah, he could be one of the boxers.
He could be 40th Street Black.
Yeah, he could be 40th Street Black. And you flush that character out a little bit. You give that character some
and Eric Andre is Bootney Lee Farnsworth.
Bootney Lee Farnsworth. I love it. I love that. Eric Andre is Bootney Lee Farnsworth. He's a friend of my brother's. I'm sure he'd get a kick out of playing Bootney Lee Farnsworth. He's a little old right now, but I'm sure he'd get a kick out of it. And then I'd make my brother like the
trainer,
or his PR guy.
Yeah. Does he have a girlfriend?
Does he have a girlfriend? He can't. What did he say? He can't get away from him. One question, Bootsy. How's he love life? That guy looks like Clark Kellogg. He looks like Clark Kellogg.
He did have some affectations. Yeah.
And for those listening, that was my CBS NCAA CBS
one shining moment.
Yeah, Bill Raftery.
Yeah. Yes.
So I don't know who the wives would be. They got to be. But I think we can figure it out. I think we can get there.
I got a catalog, man.
That's what you go for it.
Laura Harrier could definitely be.
I don't know who that is. Who
maybe know? So she was in Spider-Man: Homecoming as the daughter of Michael Keaton somehow. She was also in what else? She was in Black Klansman. Yeah. Clay Thompson.
Cool. No problem.
Yeah.
I'm with it. Sure, no problem. Yes. And for Lee Chamberlain,
Keke Palmer. My number standing number 3.
I like it. I like
Keke.
it.
Keke, shout out to
You've
Keke.
done it. Thank you.
I bring Keke. I managed to bring Keke into my lectures to my medical students because I talk about Dick Cheney having the heart problems or whatever, and her meme about I'm sorry to this man. Keke has a special place in my heart. Shout out to Keke Palmer.
Totally understandable.
If you ever listen
totally
to Keke,
understandable.
I'm here for you.
Yes. Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day, Keke.
So we've cast a film. So I'm very.
Who's directing?
Spike Lee.
Okay.
I want to make it funny and with a heart.
I need Spike to do more Crooklyn stuff. More like I need this from Spike. Actually,
that's what funny with a heart, and he loves boxing. I mean, you got sports in it. I mean, come on.
He's
worked with John David. He's worked with the young lady that you said for Denise, for Beth. Why not?
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for that for letting me go off on that.
Oh man, I love it.
Let's go to music real quick.
Yes, I was going to say the soundtrack, man. Come on, talk about it.
All written by Curtis Mayfield.
The great Curtis Mayfield.
The soundtrack was released January 1st, 1975. The film was released. October 11th, 1975.
I love us, man. That's a us thing. That's
Let's talk about this though. Curtis Mayfield, and I talked to my dear friend Raymond Jones, who I'm pretty sure listens to the show.
Shout out to Ray.
Shout out to Ray.
Space playing Ray.
The moment. So I posted the story, and then I had an Instagram notification, and Ray says, "I want to quote it. I want to say it correctly. What young Master Raymond said." Ray says to me, he writes, "This was really an odd father-daughter duet. And good gosh, is he ever right. Let's Do It Again is strange.
Yeah.
For a father and daughter to be singing.
Yeah.
Just odd for the sake of being odd.
Full stop.
I know they're full stop. I mean, I love the music, but I had to say that when I start. It's a very strange song for a father and daughter to be singing.
Yeah.
But all the songs were written by Curtis Mayfield. I believe it's 9 tracks. Nine. There were 8 tracks. 8 tracks. It is streaming on Apple Music. It is streaming on Spotify and Tidal and Amazon Music. 8 tracks, amazing. Let's Do It Again. Funky Love, A Whole Lot of Love. One of my favorites. New Orleans. I mean, Mavis Staples is just giving it her all.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A secular album.
Yeah,
secular songs. New Orleans. I love that. Whenever I go to New Orleans, I play. Do you know what it means, Miss New Orleans? Tipatina, of course. But the version I play is the Harry Connick Jr. version. Okay, whatever. Okay. Little Dr. John.
Gotta have some Dr. John.
Yeah, and then it says, I want to thank you, Big Mac, which is the Big Mac, his song there. Then the great song After Sex, and then it ends with Chase.
Yeah, and
Chase is like they're running all over New Orleans, just trying to get out and jump over the building. Yeah. I remember that as a kid. Them jumping over the building and making it. Because it was a double play. It was a double feature the night I saw it. So first they jump off the bridge, and then they jump off. Should have died. Yeah, and then they jump off. How do you jump? Anyway, whatever. Then they jump over the building. It's 40 delicious minutes, 33 seconds. Yeah. It was made on Spy Records. All the songs are written by the great Curtis Mayfield. But it's an amazing soundtrack that is underneath some outstanding scenes throughout. Yeah, as well.
And he was in his zone for soundtracks. He does Superfly. You know what I mean? Like Curtis Mayfield was the man, and certainly
without question. Yeah, without question. I got a question for you.
What's up?
Is the scenario believable?
The scenario of like the boxing and all that stuff. Like
the whole movie scenario, is it believable?
No. Well, stop. All right. So first, let's suspend disbelief on a large portion of it. Hypnotization. Okay. Is crucial. So you have to believe in the power of the subconscious and hypnosis. Okay. Which there's science behind that. Subconscious. But becoming a boxer that is destroying heavy bags and
there's still only so much the body can do.
Right? Yes, correct. Even the upper limits of the body. You reach your mind's full potential. I can believe him ducking and dodging and becoming faster. Now that chase scene, I definitely can get with. Like when he's chasing him, he's trying to catch him to re-hypnotize him, and he can't get him.
That part I understand. That part, the running fast, no question.
Yeah,
I got you.
So there's that. The gambling part of it, like the to take those bets, I just don't see them as savvy gangsters falling for, especially the second half of the movie, with the women making the bets on the draw.
The draw. Yeah. Like what are the odds? What are the odds that they're both going to hit each other at the same
20
time?
20 to 1, right? You know what I mean? Like it's just
Billy Eckstein, by the way, Billy Eckstein for the
great Billy Eckstein. Yes,
the great Billy Eckstein.
Yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Legendary. But yeah, I it's kind of far fetched. It's not as implausible as Uptown Saturday Night. It's an improvement on that.
Absolutely insane movie. It makes no sense. My dad was so upset with me when I spoke ill of Uptown Saturday Night. Like, how dare I have an opinion, the negative about Uptown? It's like, do you understand? We didn't have, all this variety you boys have now. We didn't have all that.
Excellent backdrop, sir.
Thank you. And I was like, okay, Dad, well, it still could make sense. I mean, Shaft made sense to me. Much more than Uptown Saturday Night did. But go ahead, please.
But there's a lot of realism though. Like I believe that absolutely believe Kansas City Mac tracked them down to Atlanta, and
Oh yeah, it took us 6 months, but we found it. Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, you know, the rival gangs is much more believable in this film than it was.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So there's that.
Just like the monkeys. They're like the monkeys in Thailand.
like the goddamn
rival gangs. Like, what in the world? Yeah.
I love how we circle back to that. Hey.
How do they? You got to see that. I beg everyone to watch that.
Man, but pause
okay.
Right now, and go watch that.
Yeah, go watch that. Washington Post, Instagram. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I don't have anything else to say.
I thought it was very authentic for the time. I thought it was extremely authentic for the time. But to your point, you have to suspend your belief, because to think that you could just make your way into the room with a fake press pass, even back then.
Yeah.
I mean, like, how close could you get to Ali? I'm pretty sure at some point somebody very mean with some bad breath and some big arms wasn't letting you get. Is removing you. You were not getting that close to Ali.
Yeah, and even after the fight, how Clyde goes and whispers in his ear, like that's not happening
without the press pass.
Yeah,
he didn't have the press pass.
Yeah,
he's just he's Mongo Slade at that point.
Can we talk about the whole Mongo Slade thing real quick?
Please, let's go. Who's Mongo Slade to you? Which one is Mongo Slade?
Mongo Slade is Billy all day.
Okay.
I love the monogram pink suit. I love one sock longer than the other sock. I love the shades. I love the hat. Like, you know.
Let me find out who the costume designer was for that film, because that person needs that. To me, I don't even know if we could get that. We get that information.
My man Mongo Slade has on culottes, man. Culottes.
He does it. He does it. Culottes. He was wearing culottes. It is pretty crazy, actually.
Look, so Billy is my Mongo, but I want you to, because I respect your take on Mongo. So talk about your Mongo take, man.
No, I mean, I'm with you. He's Mongo Slade. Like, no question.
We'll talk about Clyde as Mongo, man.
I thought Clyde. To me. So after listening to you now twice, run through why Billy is Mongo. I thought Clyde was Mongo because he's from New York.
Yes,
say
that.
And so because he's from New York, he's supposed to be this, this respected gangster or gambler or somebody with a great deal of respect.
Yeah.
That these hoods down in New Orleans would still understand and respect themselves. Like, okay, I'll cover your bet. Yeah, I've heard of you. And it's before the internet. I don't know who Mongo Slade is. Like, so you said, sure, you're believable as Mongo Slade. You're believable as Mongo Slade. Sure, sure.
Right.
Now when he wheels around with the gun, not believable. Portier and a gun.
Nah.
I believed him as Virgil Tibbs, but I didn't believe, not very believable when he wheels around, the cape goes back.
He flashes it a lot.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah. I love the cape though.
I'm good. Oh, the cape.
I love the cape.
Particularly in the second fight, he's got a cape and he's like kind of wavering and sits down. The cape is amazing. But to your point about
upside his head with the cape, like
yeah. But to your point about Billy, when you see him, and it's the wraparound glasses and the hat,
yeah,
and then it's the way he's speaking. My favorite line in the film of a movie that has some great lines. My favorite line in the film is when Clyde says to Billy before the first fight, "I hope he's still under." And Billy says, "What?" If you watch it, you'll probably get in trouble for how loud I just yelled. If you watch it,
it's
that part is worth the entire. Yeah, it was. That's worth the entire 88 minutes, whatever this film, or whatever hour long.
112 minutes.
112. Okay, 112 minutes, hour and 42. Then it's worth all of it for when he does it. Yeah, look at that. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Look at him.
I never go to right direction.
Look at him. And I forgot about how the tie kind of comes down.
Hey, my dad.
I almost had to. I believe
there's a picture of my dad. Not that he does not have the wraparound shades. but he's got the floppy bow tie and the hat.
Of course. The floppy bow tie was a big deal. My dad had one. It was polka dot. My mom made it for him. It's blue and white polka dots. So it's basically that one, but blue and white. The costume and wardrobe department was a woman named Marie Brown and a man named David Raleigh.
Hey, man, they deserve a lifetime achievement.
They do. Marie Brown also worked on, she worked on such notable things as, most of these things you never heard of, but definitely Let's Do It Again, Piece of the Action, Stir Crazy, and her last thing she ever worked on, she passed or something? Oh, she worked on 10, excuse me, did the wardrobe for the women in 10. The last thing she worked on was The Greatest American Hero.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And then the guy, David Raleigh, who was also in wardrobe, much respect. Oh no, he had a much longer career. Okay. It was a lot of things. So they worked together on most of their things. But the Bob Newhart Show, which was a stylish show, Let's Do It Again, Piece of the Action, Stir Crazy, Starsky and Hutch, Greatest American Hero, Hill Street Blues, The Van Dyke Show, Quantum Leap, the film Get Shorty, G.I. Jane, Alien Resurrection, The Water Boy, The Fugitive.
Shout out real quick to Quantum Leap, because you had to do a lot of different eras for wardrobe. Like Quantum Leap was going everywhere. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
Exactly. So they had some serious costume people. Shout out to the costume people. Shout out below the below the line.
Say that, Joe. This is one thing I appreciate about you and about this podcast in general and what you bring to it, man. Like those, like you don't have a film without these people, without the Ruth Carters, without like. You know what I mean?
you don't look at this. Look at Mac, man. Look at Mac. This is beautiful.
Clean it in the board of hell.
This is beautiful. I'm not a fan of brown suits, but it worked.
Yeah,
it worked extremely well. The brown, the gold. He has a carnation always.
Yeah.
Pocket square.
Yeah.
Bubble top. I mean, seriously, bubble top in a 3-piece khaki suit from J.C. Penney.
Yeah.
With a lovely tie and a very, very preppy, smart red striped shirt. I mean, it's clean.
Yeah.
Clean.
Yeah.
And then you got pinstripes back here.
Yeah.
And then
Jody Tibbs. Ready.
That's fish and chips. And then of course Jody Tibbs. Looking smooth. Yeah, Josie Tibbs. I'm sorry. Smooth. Yeah. But you know, I'm a huge fan of this film.
Yeah.
For a number of reasons.
Sure. But I appreciate your love for the below the line people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, appreciate it.
And you know, guys, like I hate to be this guy, but I advocate for watching the credits, man. Watch the credits, give a shout out. My cousin, let me give a shout out real quick to my cousin, Moses Conrad Norman III, because he's a sound guy. He works in sound in film. Okay. And you know what I mean? Like I look for his name in the credits, man. Like when I see his name in the credits, because he works hard. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he's a working man. And it's important. You don't have the film without the below the line people. So
no, you don't. I forgot to say I knew her name, but I forgot it at the time. Then I just remembered the sister who was Biggie's crony #1. That's what okay. Talia, her name is Talia Farrow. Huh. And
Talia Farrow.
Yes.
That's like okay.
Yeah, exactly. Everything you're thinking. Talia, she worked from 68. Oh, she was in Finian's Rainbow. Gosh, that was directed by that's popular, man. She was in the Shaft TV series on Sanford and Son. She was in Sparkle. Of course, Let's Do It Again. She was on First and 10. Okay.
Oh wow. OJ, shout out to
OJ. Which I wish they would. Yeah. Gosh, we got a theme today.
Hey, we're gonna lose all of
Columbo and Lincoln Heights.
Lindsay,
yes.
Kate, Shoni, don't leave us. we still love you.
Don't leave. So I think the difficult part about talking about a film that's so important is over time things happen, and these people, these actors, or these luminaries that we came to love and respect, they disappoint us.
They do things,
they disappoint us, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say the saddest, most bittersweet part of talking about this movie is that the funniest person in the film, although I think John Amos is like number 2 at funniest in the film.
Sure.
When he smiles and he smiles all the time,
yeah.
gold, and Billy says, beautiful. But is it, Cosby's in the film, and now it's not.
He's a rapist.
It's not. Yeah, he's a rapist, and now it's not. The film's not celebrated in the same way. It's not.
It takes away from what Portier, from what John Amos, Jimmy Walker,
Denise
all
Nicholas,
these
Nicholas,
like
Talia Farrow.
You know what I mean? Like, it takes away from their legacy, and that's the Joe. I'm sorry to step on you, but that's the most hurtful part of this whole thing.
No, and that's the problem with all of that. It takes away from all the legacy of every single person who participated in a project that he was in.
Yeah,
and that's what's probably so. That's one of the things that is even. I mean, the first pain is obviously the victim's pain.
Sure.
And far more important than that. But then when you look at legacy, we tend to look at the person and what he did, as opposed to the way it affected others.
Yeah.
And the work that they worked extremely hard on.
Yeah.
And so that's the saddest part of even talking about this film, that a film that I loved. I still love.
Yeah.
But it's you can't get away from it.
No.
This should be a roses time. This should be a get your flowers time. This should be a aging gracefully time. But no. Because of behavior from before the time this film was made.
Yeah.
Through most recently, because of the revelations of criminal behavior.
Yeah.
No, we can't celebrate it the same. Yeah. We can't celebrate the work that everybody did, and we repudiate those actions that that behavior.
Absolutely.
Completely.
Absolutely. 100%
and unequivocally.
Yeah.
So I couldn't.
Thank you for saying it.
No problem.
You for saying it as eloquently as you did, man. Because I agree part and parcel, 100% with everything you said.
For sure.
I think you said it in the way that Joe Carlos is known to say things.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. This is in no way, shape, or form a celebration of that person.
No.
You know what I mean? But again, it's a slippery slope, man. I was having a discussion earlier with some friends about, like, I was telling them we were covering this film, of where you let go of the work that they've done versus acknowledging the pain and acknowledging the things that the people that have suffered as a result of his actions.
People that suffered the most.
Absolutely.
The victims, and then his collaborators.
Yeah. Everybody that was complicit with it, including people who are complicit now. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say, man, I don't want to not recognize the great work of the other people in this film, and that's the reason.
Absolutely.
I mean, this film is in its time, contextually, was important and is important and still is important.
Absolutely.
And we can't lose it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. This is a watershed moment.
Yeah.
And they did do a better job than Uptown Saturday Night.
Yeah.
They did I've never seen a piece of the action. Or if I have, I don't remember it. But I'm going to watch it because I think like Amazon was going to give it to me for like 40 cents more.
Now, who all is in it besides the two principal characters?
I think it's
the same. Pretty much,
it's probably the same. I think it's the same. Is it them again? Are they in that again?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I'm gonna check right now. Let's see here. But no, I don't think any of the. Oh gosh, sorry. I don't think any of the. Is 77. Sorry about that. Piece of the action, That's probably set in New York this time. A retired Chicago cop blackmails two rich thieves to volunteer helping juvenile delinquents change path. So these were sequels, but they weren't. So it's James Earl Jones. So they were sequels,
but Denise Nicholas is there.
Yeah, she's as Lila French, and then the great Tracy Reed is there as Nikki, the great Tracy Reed, who was in Car Wash and had a brief cameo in one of my favorite films of all time, Running Scared. She's in that. Tracy Reed's in that. Yeah. Shirley Ralph is in this. Jeanette Dubois.
Shirley Ralph.
Yeah. In like 76. I can't imagine. Wait, who's that guy?
My man Raj from from What's Happening.
Yeah. Yeah, so Tracy's Poitier's wife, and Denise is Cosby's wife.
Guys. Okay.
Yeah. Tracy Reed. Anyway, and she has a great line in there, croissant, in Running Scared. But it's like, yeah, I tried to say it. I don't know how to say it. Billy Crystal, I don't know how to say it. I said, so I just got donuts. It was a product placement for Dunkin' Donuts in 1986.
As it was the time for that.
Yeah,
it's time for that. Joe, what else is there to say about this film, man? I think we've kind of said it all.
What more can I say? I said it all, done it all. Said it all, done it all. I don't know. Hey, I'm good. Where's the rank for me? One of my most enjoyable films to watch. Period. Yeah. I can watch it at any point, and I can just watch the chase scene. Because it's the whole song. It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole song is the chase.
Yeah. Right until they run into Abdullah's Turkish bath, aka the rear entrance to
the precinct,
New Orleans precinct.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for where it ranks for me, man, it's as far as blaxploitation films, it's in my top 5 blaxploitation films. Certainly one of my favorite Sidney Poitier films, as it were. Given the rather crappy legacy of Bill Cosby's later movies. I mean,
this is probably his best.
This is absolutely his best because you're holding up against schlock like Leonard Part 6 and Ghost.
Watch your ass.
You gotta have
ass. I had a
have ass to bring ass.
To bring ass. You gotta have ass to bring ass. Well, I'm gonna hit you so hard. I had a friend in high school, Chris Benedetto, middle school actually. Chris Benedetto was a year ahead of me at the Lake Hill Preparatory School. And I was talking about I'd see Leonard Part 6. He said, well, I saw Leonard Part 4. Looking back, one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. I was 14, he was 15, or I was 13, he was 14. Hilarious. Leonard Part 6 is a horrible film. But it did bring it. I mean, Troy Bayer's in it, so that was great. But it was a horrible film, and had the way he got dressed and had like the tailor come in and do all that, amazing, absolutely amazing. And then he lived next door to his wife, and which foreshadows divorce.
Rest assured, guys, this is the only time on the Open Tabs podcast we will ever mention.
Yeah, this is it. He never really He didn't translate well to the big screen. He didn't. That was not his place. Other than the stand-up films. Yeah. But but we're not doing that.
We're not doing that. Yeah. No. All right, Joe. So what's next for us?
You tell me, brother. This was mine.
I think we had kind of talked about truncating a bit.
Yeah. So I think we're at the spot. I think we're there.
All right. So we got. I'm gonna just make an executive decision.
There, go for it.
We got 2 more movies in season 2.
I can't wait.
Okay. The last one is contingent upon a guest, Jamal.
Okay.
I'm ready for the player, but not quite.
Oh.
Yet. Okay. Not quite yet.
I'll make sure. I'll circle the wagons on that. Okay.
Okay. So I'm trying to think. Have we done any Christopher Nolan as yet?
No.
So I
Do
think
we have a
it's kinda-
Christopher Nolan on the list?
we have a Christopher Nolan on the list, and it's not one of my LA movies. So I'm getting rid of my other LA movies. So. No.
Well, the one with Jamal is an LA movie.
True. But shout out
LA,
to
shout
out to LA Confidential, because I wanted to include that this year, but it's not, or this season, but it's not looking possible. And really, like it
never goes out of style.
But it doesn't fit the narrative of what we've done. So I want to do The Prestige.
Okay. All right. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. I need to see it, so that'll be a first.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna be all in.
Never seen
fresh. It? Nope. I don't even know who's in it.
You will vastly enjoy. I'll tell you who's in it: Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, Scarlett Johansson, Michael Caine.
They magicians?
David Bowie. Yeah.
I think I have seen
as Nikola Tesla.
Yeah, I've seen The Prestige. Okay, I've seen The Prestige. Okay. That's when they're like budding. What was the other one that was?
They were head to head with
but there was another one about.
There was another magic movie with Ed Norton. It sucked. What was that movie called?
So I've seen The Prestige, but I haven't seen it in a while. I saw it like whenever it first came out on DVD. Yeah. But I haven't seen it in a while. So I look forward to that. Okay, yeah. Young Bale and Jackman. And I remember I was rooting for Jackman.
Most of us were.
Okay. And okay.
But yeah,
I saw Bale at the White House Easter egg roll in 2016. And his kid was having a tantrum, and he's walking through, and I wanted to, Sage just had a tantrum, and we're on the south lawn of the White House, and it's like just him and like two people behind him, and just like me with Sage. And I wanted to say something, but he kind of had that look on his face, like, I'm a dad and I'm tired, and this kid's tired, and I really want to go somewhere. I wanted to like jet rocket, put one of Bruce Wayne's things on and fly out of here. And was
this pre or post Terminator? Where he has a soundbite from Terminator where he's cussing everybody out.
Pre, I believe. This is pre. So yeah, and no, it's post. It's post.
Okay.
And that was also in my head. But he also kind of had a Bruce Wayne like "don't mess with me" look on his face.
Yeah.
And I put it on Facebook, and people were like, "No." Then he later took some selfies, and I'm like, first of all, you weren't there in the moment when it was him and me, 6 feet apart from each other, and the look in his eye was the look in all fathers' eyes when their kid acts up at a place when you're like, why are you acting up here? What are we not giving you?
Yeah.
And he also looked like he could have beaten up all the Secret Service. And it was probably, and it looked like he was like a little like, why am I in Gym Pop type thing?
Yeah.
But there's no, you have to do Gym Pop. That's just part of the Easter egg roll. Like everybody does that. Every star who comes, you're gonna be in that. Now you might do something cooler later on and go inside,
but for the Easter egg roll,
for the roll, and there's no other roll. There's one, it's 4 lanes.
Yeah.
But I have this great picture of Sage. I gotta get it blown up where that same day she thought she could do the roll again. And it was like an hour. It took 45 minutes to do the roll, and so she like falls down crying. She wasn't even 2 yet, and then the south portico is like looming over on the ground.
Oh, wow.
Great shot, amazing shot. She was in a mood that day, but I can't wait to do that, and then the week after that to do the player, and then we will have finished
season 2,
the longest season
in the history of man, in the history of podcasting. But yeah. So the other movie, by the way, Joe, the Ed Norton inferior film was The Illusionist.
I did see that too. Yes, the inferior film. I love it. Shout out to the Texas Longhorns as well.
Joining a great.
Just want you to know we're coming.
Yeah, well, we're ready for you, man. How about them dogs?
Great. How about them? Hook them.
The last matchup didn't go so well, but we weren't.
It did not.
Invested.
It's okay. Sure. There's any number of reasons I've been hearing for 3 years now. Sure. Y'all got on the plane. You got on the plane. You flew down there.
I'm gonna tell you something. The college football group we had, me and Joe are in like about 5 groups together.
True.
The political group is number 1 for me. College football is a close second.
Yes.
College football is rancorous.
Very rancorous. And week by week, it only gets. I'll be doing something. I look back. There's 78 messages in there. I'm like,
yeah. Shout out to Chris Lee for his Saturday morning greetings. And I can't wait for that to start back.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. And the inclusion of welcome to the SEC, Texas. Oh, let me give one more quick shout out real quick because I told them I would to my godson PJ, who's gotten so many shout outs, and his mom Tata. They're coming. August 12th is his move-in date to Brazil Hall.
Tata Biha. Okay. He's in Brazil, huh? Brailsford, Brazil.
Yeah.
You had to be like a sophomore or junior back in our day to be
right, exactly. He's on the football team or something, you know.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, to be there the first year. Good gosh.
Man, he's coming. I've told her she needs to make sure she's present and accounted for the parting ceremony.
Absolutely.
And she will.
She should stay through Saturday.
But I want to say for PJ's been participating remotely via Zoom or whatever y'all are using in a summer program, and has made some.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's awesome. That's great, man.
Humphrey to PJ for building and starting to gonna be a good hand. So, exciting time.
Sounds good, man. I'm very excited and can't wait to meet him and can't wait to be there for him.
Yeah, man.
Can't wait to be there for him.
All right. Until next time.
All right, brother. Open tab. Open the tabs. Open the tabs of the podcast. Open the tabs of the podcast. You're muted now. You're muted. And it's still recording.
It's still recording and I'm muted. The Open Tabs podcast. Hey, and we leaving it in.
We're recording our ad-libs.
Yeah, man. What we recording just then?
We're recording just then?
Yeah. So, hey, man, flaws and all.
Yeah.
Shout out to Beyonce.
That's my favorite Beyonce song.
Shout out to Beyonce.
That's my favorite Beyonce song.
I'm a train
and video.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
I'm gonna listen to that shortly.
Listen to that. All right, hey, faithful listeners and viewers.
Thank y'all.
Apple Music, our Apple Podcast, Google, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube. We're everywhere, and follow the Instagram so you can see Joe's. Follow Joe on Instagram so you can see the rival game monkeys, man. The Open Tabs podcast is out, man. Later.